So we talked about quantum leaping, what it was and what it isn't. And just a little tiny recap, quantum leaping is really about tapping into the possibilities, the limitless possibilities that are available, right? And what I love to say is that one, your desires are divine. It's coming from within you, and it's a call from a you who already has what you desire to come forward and open up to receive, which is why I call manifesting intentional receiving. And what you are doing is you are locking in the energy, right? Locking in the frequency of what you desire. And that is like a honing signal into the quantum field saying, oh, this is who I am, right? The version of me who already has it. And as you are being that version here, right, in your physical, in your human, in this 3D world, you are calling forth experiences and situations that all match that frequency. And that's why things unfold a lot faster, because you're being the person without needing the byproducts to prove that you can be that person. All right. So in order to really allow yourself to quantum leap, what did we say the quantum leap? There are two things that is really important when we think about massive shifts in your life, when we think about things happening that never happened before. What was it? It was the unknown and the unexpected. Picking up what I'm putting down. So with a quantum leap, it really is about you being open to the unknown and the unexpected. And if you're unknown and unexpected, if you're open to that, that means it's not about knowing how it's going to happen. It's not about trying to figure it out. And it's not about using your mind to do all of this. It really is about opening yourself up to the multitude of billions of possibilities and being open to not knowing. Okay. So what are the three things that you get to let go of to quantum leap? What are they? Well, I'm going to give you what the three are, and then we're going to break them down. So the first one is control. The second one is comfort. And the third is common sense. Okay. So let's break this down. Control. Control is, and I love to use, I love to use definitions. So when you look in the definition, the Webster Dictionary, control, I'll read it to you. It's the power to influence or direct a course of events based on behavior. And so you are using your behavior, your mind, the 3D things you know to influence a course of events. Control. And when we think about control in our lives, we are, controlling the way things unfold, controlling the way we approach other people. Control. You've gotta, if you are desiring to quantum leap, remember I said it's about the illogical, it's unknown, it's unexpected, which means that you can't use your mind to get there. And control is really about using your mind, using what you know to influence things. You've got to let go of control. You've got to release the control. You've got to say, I don't know how this is going to happen. I'm open to it blowing my mind. Like I'm open to it coming in a way that I could have never imagined. And you've got to be open to whatever steps you're taking, whatever things you're being led and guided to do, that you're not controlling what happens, because that keeps you in a small box. The quantum field is a huge box with billions of possibilities, and you get to focus on the having of what you desire and allowing it to come to you in one of a billion ways. So control is something that I see often, especially when my clients first come to me. They want to control everything. They're trying to figure it all out, trying to wrap their heads around exactly how things are going to unfold. And that is 100% the way you limit yourself and put yourself in a box. Okay. You picking up what I'm putting down? So then let's go to comfort. What about comfort? People are like, I like to be comfortable. Comfort is fun. I like comfort. Comfort feels so good, right? Well, here's the thing. I'm sure you've heard that saying that what you desire is outside of your comfort zone, right? You've heard that. And yes, you can use that as an example if you're thinking about, that makes sense. That makes sense. So what I desire is going to be something that isn't comfortable to me. Let's just talk about what comfort is. There are a lot of you that are experiencing things you don't desire, but that's where you're comfortable. It's familiar to you. And so your mind is comfortable and trying to keep you safe, right? Comfort means I'm safe. And when you push yourself outside or to the edge of something, you start to feel very uncomfortable because you're not sure what's going to be on the other side. You're not sure what's going to happen, right? The unknown, unexpected, uncomfortable because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know how it's all going to work out. And so if you're tapping into the unknown and unexpected, you are going to, in essence, already be outside of your comfort zone because it is unknown and it is unexpected. And your brain, your mind loves to keep you safe with what you know. Even if you don't like it, a lot of times when I'm dealing with my clients and they're going through a cycle or they're doing something that happens over and over again, I'm always like, what about this feels comfortable? What about this do you not want to get out of? Why would you want to stay here? And a lot of times the answer is, well, it would be uncomfortable or it's scary on the other side or I don't know what's going to happen. And it's like, yes, yes, and yes. And what you get to do is bring your mind along with you on this journey in the ways that I described in the quantum leaping video, right? Tapping into the energy, showing your mind what gets to happen, telling stories about what gets to happen, how it gets to be, what it gets to look like, so that you can start to get your mind on board with what your body and your soul already know. So it's going to be, you have to understand that things will be uncomfortable. I had a client, she was ready for a $30,000 month. She's like, I want that. And so we talked about all the reasons why she wouldn't want it. And she was like, I'm going to have to work. I'm going to have to do this. It's going to be hard. And so what we did was break down all of those reasons she didn't want it and show her how she was already experiencing that right now. And then once she was like, it's not a big deal. What happened? Boom, she skyrocketed to that $30,000 a month. And now it's her norm. So where are you trying to avoid discomfort and an effort to stay where you are, even though you know you have this desire to move forward, you have this desire to expand, you have this desire to experience something else? I have another client, she desires a relationship, yet the relationships that she did experience were very uncomfortable. They were not good. So for her, discomfort and relationship kind of go together. It feels not good. It's scary. It's vulnerable. I'm nervous. And I was like, so you desire this relationship, but it's comfortable where you are because you know how to control it, right? Comfort and control. You see how those are melded together, right? A state of physical ease, right? And just knowing that you're going to be safe. But the truth is, when you show yourself that it is just as safe where you're going as it is where you are, then you can start to move into those feelings, the nervousness, the discomfort that would probably last that fast because you'll decide, oh my God, it's not that bad. I'm going to be fine. So you've got to let go of control and you've got to let go of comfort in order to allow yourself to propel to places that you haven't been before. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? All right. And then lastly, we're talking about common sense. So common sense, the word common sense, people are like, common sense is good. I want to have common sense, right? Because that's what we're talking about. Common sense, common sense, common sense. Well, let me just explain what it is. Common sense was a word that started to be used in the 1530s, right? And the real definition of it is an ordinary understanding without which one is foolish or insane. And so common sense really keeps you, like when I think about some of the things that's happened in my life, it did not make sense for me to leave a corporate job that was a multi-six-figure job. Didn't make any common sense, but I knew that my desire to create this business and to share with the world and to do what I'm doing was so much stronger. And I knew the potential was so much bigger. And now I'm making more than that, way more than that. Right? But it didn't make any common sense. If I stayed with common sense, I would have stayed in the corporate world, stayed in the safety. Okay. Common sense will keep you, again, what do we say, safe, but also where you are. And I'm not talking about doing radical things, and I'm talking about making choices and decisions from intuition that will not make sense to the outside world. It will not make sense to other people, but it makes sense to you. It's like, this is my next step. Of course I'm doing this. And so you've got to let go of the way that others say, oh, well, that would make more sense, or that's what she, he, them should do. You've got to let go of the common way of thinking, because you aren't common. You are leading an extraordinary life. You are here to live a life that's beyond anyone's expectations, anything anyone else could ever believe that they could ever do. And if you're trying to live or deciding that you get to live this amazing, extraordinary life, then you've got to make amazing and extraordinary choices, not common choices or choices that normal people would do. You get to say, I'm extraordinary. I'm choosing this. I'm creating a life that is extraordinary. I'm not going to choose what the majority of the world chooses, because you get to do things in a very, very different way. So ask yourself, how are you trying to control things? Like, where are you using things to keep you safe? Doing things to keep you safe? Because those exact things that you're doing to control your manifestations, to control how you show up, to control, you're keeping yourself in a box and limiting yourself. Also, like, where are you not willing to be uncomfortable? Where are you trying to stay in this lull zone and not be pushing yourself? Anytime you push yourself out the comfort zone, I can't handle it. I'm not so sure. It's so uncomfortable. Where are you running away from discomfort? Where are you running away from the temporary discomfort? And when I say temporary, I mean it is temporary. Where are you staying safe? So not even pushing your vibration to move higher, pushing yourself to do things that you know you desire to do, because it's going to feel a little bit uncomfortable. So you're staying in your safe box. Those are all the things that are keeping you away from this quantum leap, this massive shift and change in your situation or circumstance. It's keeping you where you are. And then where are you trying to be realistic and logical, even though your intuition is telling you to do this, even though your intuition is telling you to take this step, even though you know you're being guided and led, where are you choosing to do things in a way that would make sense to everyone else, even though your heart and your soul is calling you somewhere else? It truly is. You've got to let go of comfort. You've got to let go of control, and you've got to let go of what makes common sense to other people, and really allow yourself to create a life beyond your wildest imagination and dreams. So that's your homework. Those questions that I asked about, where are you trying to control? Where are you staying in comfort because you're so nervous about being uncomfortable? What are the reasons why you don't want what you say you desire? Look at that. What are the reasons why you don't want what you desire, right? Is it you think it's going to be too hard? Do you think you're going to work a lot more? I'll tell you a story before I end this. When I left corporate and then I was in a struggle mode for a while, I was like, why don't I want to really be seen or want my business to really take off? And it was like, oh, you're going to work a ton. You're going to be tired. Like, there were so many reasons. And then I was like, well, I'm already working a ton and I'm not making the money. So why am I so afraid that if I have to work a lot more at the other thing, it doesn't make sense for me to shy away from it because I'd have to work. I'm already working, right? So I started to look at that even logically, and I was like, none of these things make sense for me. And so when I was like, okay, I'm avoiding this discomfort and that discomfort, I started to look at it and I really allow myself to say, you know what? What's better? Is it to sit here in the strong discomfort that I'm in, or be slightly comfortable for a temporary season and create the life of my dreams? And so I chose discomfort. I chose not knowing. I chose the unknown and the unexpected and trusted. And so ask yourself these questions so that you can decide, you know what? I'm open. I'm going to be the person who already has this. I'm choosing to align and lock in the frequency, right, of the me in the quantum field who already has this, because that's what I get to do. And it's going to be uncomfortable, and I'm going to have to show up for myself, and I'm going to have to keep choosing new beliefs, new ways of thinking, new ideas, and not knowing what my next step is, and then doing it, not knowing what the result is going to be, trusting that I know that my desires are guaranteed. I know the end result. I know that my desires are inevitable. I know that they're unfolding. I know that every step that I take is taking me there, and I don't know how I'm going to get there, but I get to become the how by trusting that everything that I'm doing is taking me there regardless. That's when you get to step into your quantum leap. That's when you get to allow yourself to unfold. That's when your quantum leap season begins. So you've got to let go of control, comfort, and common sense. And when you allow yourself to truly become the person who trusts your desires are inevitable, the person who trusts that you get to choose that frequency and you get to have it, even though your circumstances in this world doesn't match, you get to allow them to begin to match it because you've decided to be the person who already has it. This is your potent power. This is when you enter your quantum leap season. This is when you can totally change your life. So I love it. So do that homework, and I cannot wait. And in one of the next videos, I'm going to talk about 4 ways to start to build momentum. And they're all fun ways. One of them is very challenging. It starts with an S, and you're going to be like, I don't want to. But I'm telling you, these 4 things will really help you build momentum. And when you're building momentum from where you are, that also plays a role in you rapidly receiving your desires. So, yay, get excited for that. So on that note, hugs and kisses and all of the feels. Just remember that you get to be her, him, or them now and take aligned soul action today.